So we're here among Carter's later works, which you can see concentrate mostly on the ovoid shape. And we're going to be inspired by Clarence Carter and his paintings around us to play a game, which I call the composition game. So the composition game is really fun. It's open to players of any age. And with younger kids, toddlers, and preschool age, you can actually use fabric instead of paper to make it more friendly, and younger children might need to be supervised. As far as the number of players goes, you can use any number of players. If you have a really large group, you might want to divide your group into pairs or into smaller groups. And then as far as the time limit goes, I'd say maybe 15 minutes, 20 minutes for the game. If you want to make it more challenging, you can make your time limit shorter. If you feel like it's very open-ended, you can make it as long of a time limit or no time limit if you'd like. So when we're talking about materials, we are going to need 2 pieces of paper, 2 full-size sheets, and one of them's in a dark color and one of them's in a lighter color. And then we're going to get 2 large shapes. They can be any shapes. Here we're inspired by Clarence Carter, so our shapes are eggs. But you could use squares or circles or triangles. What you want to do is use the same shape and repeat it. But with it, you want to have maybe a 1/4 page size at the most shape, and you want to have a light one and a dark one. And then we're also going to have 2 smaller shapes, the same shape, also repeated in a light color and a dark color. And then your final piece of material is the frame. So your frame can be a piece of mat board like this one. You could use an actual picture frame, or you could even take a piece of paper and cut out the middle square just slightly smaller than your page size rectangle. So the objective of the game is to create a series of 5 different artworks using these materials. So you can use a minimum of 1 piece of paper and 1 shape. So at the end, once you have your composition created, you can lay your frame on top of it and then take a picture, and that'll be your first in the series of 5. If you do not have a camera available, I recommend just scoring your points before you move on to the next composition. So what we'll be doing is using these in layers. So you're not going to glue these together for the game. We're just going to be laying them on top of each other, making a composition, and then laying. Pretty simple, and that's why you would take your picture before moving on to the next one, because you're going to be using these same materials to create each image in your series. You're going to award 1 point for each finished composition, so that'd be a total of 5 if they're all completed. If you create the same composition as your friend, then you're each going to get a point taken off for that. So we want these to be unique, original compositions. Have a judge or a panel, and that judge or panel will pick out 3 categories. 1 is the most meaningful, 2 would be the most interesting composition, and 3 would be the most aesthetically pleasing composition. And your judge or panel would give 10 points to the first place, 5 points to the second place, and then if there's a tie, it would be 5 points each. Now, if you can't find a judge, now there is also a bonus art project at the end of the game. You can pick your favorite composition out of your compositions and actually glue down your pieces on your collage and then decorate it with mixed media, so you can embellish it and add things to it to make a final art piece. I would like to thank all of our sponsors: the Scioto Foundation, the Ohio Arts Council, the National Endowment for the Arts, Southern Ohio Medical Center here in Portsmouth, the Richard D. Martins Foundation, and then also the City of Portsmouth.